The Sixers lose to the Cavaliers 115-101, falling to 34-30 on the season. I am Coy Camiscioli from Philly Sports Talk here. Unfortunately, going to recap this game for you as the Sixers are they've just hit a downward spiral, and things are just getting worse and worse. Going into this game, guys, I mean, we all knew we were going to lose. The Sixers are without Joel Embiid, VJ Edgecombe, Tyrese Maxey, and obviously Paul George. So literally our four best players are all out. VJ Edgecombe was questionable going into this game, so hopefully he's back soon. Tyrese Maxey, he had that right finger sprain in Saturday's loss to Atlanta. He is out at least 2 games, including this one, so hopefully maybe just one more. And Joel Embiid is supposed to be reevaluated in a couple more days. But, guys, it's not going to get any better. This is the first half of a back-to-back, so we got the Grizzlies tomorrow night at home. With who we have missing, I just don't see how we're going to win a game. We're not. And then Thursday, we had the 1-seed Detroit Pistons on the road. It's not looking too good, guys, right now. But I'll give my game notes from what I saw from this game. I don't have too much, honestly. We failed to beat the Cavaliers this year. I believe we went 0-4 against them on the season. Just embarrassing. That first quarter, we kind of hung in tight a little bit. We were trailing just 26-20 going into the second. And the Cavaliers, they go on a run in that second quarter, 17-7 run. They started to knock down all their threes. Keon Ellis hits a couple. James Harden was starting to hit some. And there was just nothing that we could do on offense. And we went on a decent run to end the quarter. We were trailing 56-44, so we had a little bit of a pulse there. And then the third quarter, Sixers just kicked into gear. The Cavaliers couldn't miss from beyond the three-point line. Harden got hot to start the quarter, and we go down 66-48 fast. Then we were down 20 with 6 minutes left. They were just knocking down all the threes. We go into the fourth quarter, losing 87-66. I turned the game off with 5 minutes left. And honestly, guys, there's nothing really to break down and analyze this game other than everything I just said. You know, I can go a little bit into the individual performances. But this is one thing that I wanted to note is that some teams, they find ways to win games when they have all their players missing, when they have like one of those, nights that seems like a scheduled loss. Sometimes those teams find a way to win. The Sixers are not one of them. And I think that should be attributed to multiple factors, such as our front office, Nick Nurse, and our players. I was talking with one of my friends a little while ago. All throughout the year, I was talking about how good the depth of this team is. And then the Jared McCain trade happened. And when that trade happened, listen, McCain wasn't getting many minutes. It just kind of killed the vibe of the team. But I didn't think it was going to hurt our depth as much as it really feels like it has at this point. Now we just kind of look terrible. And again, I know we're missing our 4 best players, but there's nothing we can do, guys. I mean, we don't have any players. And our ownership is just so cheap. This was something I found funny because I have NBA League Pass. So while I was doing some homework, I saw the game on during halftime. Or no, it was actually a commercial. Actually, it may have been between the third quarter and the fourth quarter. Regardless, not that important. The Cavaliers, they do a 10K half-court shot, I believe, every single game. Josh Harris would never do that with how cheap he is. I just want to note that. I just thought that was funny to even think about so far for the Sixers. Listen, that's not a big deal, but I just found that to be kind of funny. But looking at the box score for this game, guys, our starting lineup of Dominic Barlow, Adem Bona, Cameron Payne, Kelly Oubre, Quentin Grimes, it's putrid. I mean, honestly, putrid. Quentin Grimes had a team-high 17 points. He was 6-13 from the field. He had 5 rebounds and 3 assists. Cam Payne had 12 points with his start, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Off the bench, Justin Edwards had 14 points. He knocked down 3 3-pointers, which is good to see from him. But, I mean, just an assortment of guys got in tonight, including the likes of Tyrese Martin, Dalen Terry, Marjon Beauchamp. I really have nothing more to note on this game from the 76ers. They shot 29% from 3, 46% from the field. I mean, they just sucked all around. I mean, they were just overmatched. There was nothing they could do about this one. James Harden, he had a team-high 21 for the Cavaliers, 6 of 11 from the field, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. But just from start to finish, the Sixers were the worst team, and we knew that going into this game. Keon Ellis, he knocked down 4 3-pointers. The Cavaliers made 16 3-pointers on the night. So there was just nothing the Sixers could really do for this game. So hopefully they can bounce back against the Grizzlies tomorrow night. But guys, I got bad news. I don't think it's going to happen. The Sixers are in a really bad spot. I don't know what they're going to do. A little NBA standings update. They currently hold the 8th seed. They are that would be the second to top seed in the play-in. So they would actually hit the road for the play-in to, as right now, play the Miami Heat, who they are a game and a half back on. But if we lost that game, this is all if the season ended today, we would host the next play-in game to decide the 8th seed, which would be against the Hawks or Hornets. The winner of that game as they hold the 9th seed and the 10th seed. So we're 1.5 back of the Heat. We hold a 1-game lead on the Hawks, which is not good. They're the 9th seed currently. We lost all 4 games to the Hawks this year as well. Them and the Cavs are just are kryptonite, seriously. And honestly, if the Sixers can end the regular season as a top 8 seed, I'm okay with that. They cannot afford to get the 9th seed or the 10th seed. That would just be a disaster. I truly mean this, guys, because you have no margin for error if you get the 9th seed or the 10th seed. You're playing in an instant elimination game. At least if you get the 7th seed or the 8th seed at the end of the regular season, then you get at least 1 game to lose to start with. But you can't get the 9th seed or the 10th seed with this Sixers team. Now, we're also not that far out of just a normal playoff spot. We're a game and a half back of the Magic, who hold the 6th seed. We're only 2.5 back of the Raptors, who are on the 5 seed. But just the way this team is trending, I don't see how they move up that far. So it's just it's a shame, guys. The season's just gotten away from us so fast. I give them my opinions on who I'd like to see the Sixers play if they make the playoffs. I don't want to see New York with Jason Tatum back. I don't want to see Boston either. If I had to choose between the two, I honestly don't know. For a while I was saying that I think the Sixers actually match up well against Boston. That was an assumption that Jason Tatum wasn't going to be back for a while. I can't believe he's already back. And if you just go down the line for the Sixers, you get the 1 seed, play Detroit. To get the 8th seed, you play Detroit. 7th seed, you play the Celtics. 6th seed, you play the Knicks. All 3 of those teams, especially the Celtics and Knicks, have had our number last couple of years. The Cavaliers at the 4th seed, they swept us this year. The Raptors we've had trouble with. It's not looking good for the Sixers. But for some games around the league, nothing too much going on in terms of the East. Actually, there was nothing that went on tonight. So the Sixers, whatever. The Thunder, they got a big win over the Nuggets, but that's really about it, guys. That's going to do it. So hopefully I'll be back to recap the game against the Grizzlies tomorrow. I do have a couple things to do for school, but I'll try to be back here. If not, I'll see you guys soon.